touch. He got the ball.
Yes, all of you Spurs fans, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur and its Champions League. Knights have returned back with us. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to hopefully seeing a nice performance from Thomas Frank's men here. We're in a good mood as Spurs fans off the back of absolutely battering West Ham. We now can roll into that game or roll into the Champions League after that, because it's good to have a good win and then go into the Champions League festive mood. It's kind of like Christmas or the holidays sort of coming back, at least for football fans. That is, it is a wonderful competition, and it's a wonderful competition to watch, but especially be in. It feels like we're back where we belong in the Champions League as Spurs fans. And it's also Thomas Frank's first opportunity to get a Champions League win. He's never been in Europe before, but so far he's managing competitions decently well. And that in the Premier League, he's found a way to rotate the squad, give people opportunities, and in a way, he's done that tonight by making a few different moves and rotations. Of course, if you see the lineup off to my right there, you can see that he's brought in the likes of Bentancur, who rested against West Ham. There was probably some sort of sign that maybe he already had in mind what his Champions League starting 11 would look like. Then you have, of course, the likes of Bergvall being given another opportunity. Maybe he's rewarding Bergvall for his great performance against West Ham tonight by playing him, because he has decided to give him the nod, as well as Patmat Tassar, who's in a way undroppable. I agreed with what Philip Brady had to say earlier in the pre-match buildup. Thanks for all the support, by the way, from you guys during that pre-match buildup. It was really good to have you there with me. And I think Patmat Tassar is, in a way, the undroppable man. He's played very well so far under Thomas Frank. He's kind of one of his main players, but he's a guy for me that shows up on the big occasions. He finds a way to pop up with goals, assists. He's just someone that seems to just, I don't know, be there at the right place at the right time, but also just play a part in goals. Like, he, of course, did it for us in the Europa League final, but if you look at his season so far, he's definitely played a part in a lot of the goals. And we have as well the likes of Xavi Simons playing once again. He's playing on the left, you would imagine, with Richarlison up front, and Mohamed Kudus on the right. Mohamed Kudus, I'm not too sure if he didn't, of course, have any Champions League games, I think, for West Ham, but he did play for them in the Europa League. And I remember him actually being quite good for West Ham in the Europa League. I believe he might have had a Champions League game or two during his time with Ajax, but he doesn't have a ton of experience in this competition. But you imagine that's part of the reason why he came to Spurs, is because he probably wanted to be at a massive club like Tottenham, but he probably wanted to play in the Champions League as well. I think that was a big draw for him, is that he wanted to be playing in this competition. And it's part of the reason maybe why we got players like Xavi Simons. It's probably part of the reason why we got guys like Joao Palhinha as well, who, of course, isn't in the lineup tonight. But you would imagine that some of the transfers only happen if you do have that Champions League factor, that draw, because it is the competition that everyone wants to be in. The Premier League is a massive draw, but the Champions League, you could argue, is maybe even a bigger draw for some of these players. It's just such a huge competition. It's a huge tournament. It's on the big stage. Everyone watches it. Maybe not everyone, you could say, across Europe, is able to watch the Premier League as easily as us. But when the Champions League is on Tuesday, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock in the UK, everyone's tuning in. Everyone's showing up to the pub. Everyone's getting ready, or even in my case, on a little lunch break, you can sit down, relax, and watch a bit of the Champions League. Looking forward to it tonight. Villarreal are a team that, funny enough, has weirdly a lot of ex-Premier League players, or even, in a way, sometimes a history of ex-Spurs players, Etienne Capoue and plenty of others. Juan Foyth, as we know, former Spurs player. Let's actually, maybe as I'm doing this, I'm going to take a look quickly at the Villarreal lineup, just see what maybe they've gone for tonight. They also have Jose Perez, I believe, former Leicester City player, maybe another club as well. I believe Newcastle he might have been at for a period. He was someone that is on this Villarreal team at the minute. And then there are a few others too. Monor Solomon technically is on this team. The very infamous Thomas Partey, as we know. Let's just see if he actually featured in the lineup for them. In terms of the Villarreal lineup, we have Junior, who I'm not too sure. I'm not aware of him really as a goalkeeper. Interesting to see there. We have a player named Mourinho. I'm not too sure about him. Juan Foyth, though, is in the lineup alongside Renato Vega. Renato Vega, one of the many Chelsea signings of the last 2 or 3 seasons that maybe hasn't worked out, but also is just, wanting to play actual football. He was at Juventus, I believe, on loan last season from Chelsea, but is now over at Villarreal, maybe to try to get a bit more minutes. They have Cardona as the fullback. They've gone for a 4-4-2 shape by the looks of things. This was one of the players I was failing to mention earlier. Nicolas Pepe, if in case you were wondering where he is nowadays, he is at Villarreal at the moment. They have Papa Gay, I believe, in midfield, alongside Comasanya. Tejan Buchanan, to any of the Canadian listeners that could be out there. Of course, he's someone that they might be very familiar with. Had a huge hype about him, but just hasn't really necessarily been able to maybe achieve, that height or prospects and maybe people had him out for. I think he was at Inter Milan prior to making this move over to Villarreal. And then up top, Mikatadze, someone who I do believe is quite a good player, did very well for Olympique Lyon, really well for the Georgian national team during the Euros. If you remember that, him and Kavica Kvaratskhelia had that really good chemistry with each other and were probably the two real talisman in that Georgia national team. He's a real player, I think, Mikatadze. Then you have Jose Perez, the former Leicester City player, playing up front against us. Good to see some people in the chat popping in. Really appreciate you guys. But Spurs have gone for a 4-3-3. You'd imagine Bentancur is going to be playing in the deeper roles, the number 6. At the minute, you would say Paulinho, probably the first choice number 6 for a lot of the games. But Bentancur, in my opinion, has had plenty of good games in the midfield. I think he's had plenty of good games as a number 6 as well. I know plenty of people don't like him as much there. They prefer him to be playing a bit higher up. I could see that, but I think in certain games, he offers that bit of composure, that classiness on the ball. We've called him Mercedes Benton class for a reason. His silky first touch just has a bit of that, like I said, that calmness about him. And maybe in a big Champions League night like this, there could be some nerves, maybe some jitters amongst the players. Sometimes Bentancur, just that first touch, that first time he receives the ball in the early minutes of the game, he's that guy that, in my opinion, just kind of calms the nerves a little bit for the rest of the players. So I'm fine with Bentancur being in the number 6 role tonight, especially if this Villarreal team are going to sit back in their 4-4-2 shape and look to hit us on the counter. Might be better to have more possession-minded players in this team where you can do that with Pat Matasar and Bergvall, and still 3 players there that can really win the ball back easily for you. All very hard workers. Definitely not someone that not a midfield that you would say is lacking in any sort of work rate of any kind. And then Richarlison, who has scored in these big nights in the Champions League before, he's going to be playing down the middle. We don't have Kolomouani sightings yet. He is on the bench, so hopefully we get to see him come on at some point. Mohamed Kudus, would love to see him score. He hasn't necessarily scored yet in a Spurs shirt, but he has put in some terrific performances. And then Xavi Simons, like I mentioned earlier, part of the reason he probably even came to this Spurs team is because of that Champions League draw and factor that we do have. Good to see some people popping in the house. AK Shex, good to see you. Come on, you Spurs. Get ready, everybody. Champions League evening. Slips 128. Hopefully you're doing okay. Dark Sun G, come on, you Spurs. Let's win our first Champions League match in 3 years. It's been a while. Last time we were in it was against, I think, Marseille. Was that one of the opening games in the Champions League? At least it was under Antonio Conte. Richarlison came on off the bench, right? Grabbed that great brace. Was definitely a fun evening, but it's been a long time. It was during Antonio Conte's, that would have been his second season, right? So it's been a long time since Spurs have been in this competition. Good to see you, Dark Sun G. And yeah, he's just reminding us of that. Yeah, the days of Dyer, Sanchez, Perisic, Sessegnon, Longley, all in the Champions League squad. You could say that this Champions League squad we have now is certainly a lot better. Sean Brown, good to see you. We are Spurs TV. Big up to Dave. Hope he's good. Dave's just kind of dealing with a family matter at the moment, so he did have to pull out last minute, unfortunately. So you are stuck with me tonight, everybody. Leighton Evelyn, 3-1. Come on, you Spurs. Shemi Tan saying, missing the Spurs Champions League game. Hopefully you can handle all the responsibility. I'm putting in a real shift tonight, Shemi Tan. Appreciate you, sir. The flat cap is back, John. App to apps, always wearing the flat cap on the watch alongs. It's just, I'm not trying to make it more of a special thing, the flat cap in these streams. It's definitely reserved for the game days at the minute. I'm taking a look. If anybody's seen this, by the way, look at that tifo by the Spurs fans. Absolute class that is, and it's one of the old crest as well in the South Stand. The Spurs crest, absolutely class. Love to see that tifo. Great organization there by the Spurs flags, I think, group, if I have that down correctly. Celery Agent, haven't said your name in a long time. Hopefully you're all right. Come on, you Spurs. J Mac, big up, Jack. Good to see you, Jay. Hopefully everything's all right with you. Yo, Jack, great to see you, dude. Hoping for a win to start a Champions League campaign. That we all are. Alan, I'm seeing Xavi Simons with a very cheeky smile there, getting ready for that Champions League theme tune. Oh, I need to hear it myself. Just give me a second here. song, the intro, back in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hotspur, big up Jack. Come on, you Spurs. AK Shags, Rodrigo starting for Madrid instead of being junior. I never thought uh, he was the. I never thought he was for sale. To be honest, yeah, fair. I didn't realize. I haven't been paying attention to that Marseille Real Madrid game. Jason Bell, big up Jack and the chat. Thank you, Jason. Good to have you with me here tonight. MV Joker Davis by yourself today, Jacko. Yep. Unfortunately, Dave, like I mentioned, has dealing with a family matter at the minute, and you're stuck and in prison with me, Eddie, for as long as you would like to be. Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for all the support and the love. Ribsy85, Paulinha has been tough, or in a way, like I think there was an expectation that this could happen. Like if you saw the fact that he played 90 minutes against West Ham, maybe that meant that he was only going to be played in that game and then was going to be left on the bench for this one. And at the moment, you could say it's going to be a rotation between Bentancur and him and the number six, with maybe Bentancur and him playing together in certain games, with Paulinho then playing as the number six. But you would say in terms of the rotation in that deeper lying midfield role, it's going to be between him and Bentancur. And then Archie Gray, kind of a long way off it, maybe, in terms of getting minutes in that number six role. I do kind of worry for him. And I did say at the beginning of the season, I wonder, how many minutes is he going to really be getting in that role that a lot of people wanted him to get some minutes in last season. But now that Paulinho has come through, it's going to be tough for Archie. Kev Williams, Jack, let's go. Appreciate you, Kev. Jason Bell, from what I know about Villarreal, they play a low block. Bentancur will be more of a deep line playmaker than a classic destroyer. That's what I think it makes sense for tonight to play it that way. Do you really need like a destroyer in a game like this against a team like Villarreal, who could be playing, like you're saying, a more pragmatic defensive shape? I don't know if you really need that destroyer like midfielder. It might be bit unnecessary, just kind of a bit redundant, if you will. AK Shegs, the squad is so much better than last year. I bet Frank can't believe his choice this night. And to think that, James Madison, Kulusevski, only to come back into the squad, like, and we're still going to try to potentially. I mean, some people are suggesting that we still might be going for like a left winger like that in January. It is crazy to see this Spurs squad really developing and also being given minutes to these young players of Lucas Bergvall, Pat Matasar. Like they're only growing in maturity. They're only growing in experience. The squad is really starting to come together. Man of the match will be Sar Late Nevlin, fellow happy clapper. You're a big fan of Pat Matasar, just like me. I know Lazy 8 is. Happy birthday to you again, Nick. Last time we were in it was the loss to Milan. Me, Dave, and Kildare crew were in attendance. I was there as well, Nico. Definitely not the best of games to attend, but an absolute privilege, I must say, to be a part of the Champions League. We are about to get kicked off here, though, everybody. So do sync up with me if you would like to. And we're about to see the ball being kicked once again in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Champions League. It feels good. It's a beautiful sight. Spurs are absolutely all in the lily white right now, white from head to toe. It's gorgeous to see. Vicario with a big pump up long. What a touch from Xavi Simons there. He pumped it long to Xavi Simons, and he almost brought it down. But yeah, let's see how Villarreal line up. It's a 4-4-2, traditionally 4-4-2, more of a defensive minded shape and more of a counter-attacking type of shape usually. Not always, but can be the case. They're pressing us in the minute, like maybe most teams would. Maybe press us to begin with, but then later on in the game, you'd expect them to sort of sit in more of a defensive, pragmatic shape of some kind. Richarlison taking already a very early knock, trying to hold up the ball, got clattered into by Juan Foyth, the former Spurs defender. Ian Ferguson, now that's a tifo. It's gorgeous to see that. Absolute class. It looks like it was an homage to the old badge as well, kind of the one that we see in the crest of the new third kit, which I do like the new third kit. I kind of prefer maybe the purple older retro one. It would have been cool if they did like a version of that. But Spurs have often had a yellowish kit of some kind in plenty of seasons, so it kind of makes sense that they went back to a yellow kit being the third choice. Captain Pants, good to see you. DJAK, hopefully you're doing all right. Just a minute. Oh! Xavi Simons, the ball popped up for him there, and he went for a beautiful swipe. It was a long ball from Vicario, not dealt with very well by the Villarreal defense, and it just lined up for a bit of a. Is it a hat? No, it's not really a half volley, but it popped up for a volley for Simmons. First time, you should say, for the correct terms. and he just kind of sliced it over the bar. The away section is quite empty for the Villarreal fans. I wonder why that is. Then again, it's a very small town. It's not actually a huge city or not even a city. It's one of, I believe, the smallest populations of the Champions League clubs. Kudus, oh, he's absolutely blown through that Villarreal midfielder, struggling to get a hold of it, but was able to mow him down to the ground. Bergvall gives away a foul on Buchanan, the Canadian. AK Shag's getting out the first SPURS. Fair play to you, AK. Near Aviv, good to have you with me. Appreciate you popping in. Yeah, the crest in the crowd is sick, Kelly. Completely agree. Thank you for being here with me tonight, everybody. Sorry that there is no Dave. You're just stuck with me. But hopefully we have a good Champions League night. And also at any point, if you want to stop me or call anything out or notice anything, feel free to get at me in the comments or send it in as a super chat. We appreciate the support. And thanks to all the members as well. Spurs are going down the right wing here. Bergvall whips it in. No, Richie! Oh! It's an own goal! Spurs off to a flying start here. Coming out the gates quickly. Come on! Great cross in for Bergvall. Wins the ball down the right side. Absolutely bombing down the wing and just whips in across that the goalkeeper wasn't prepared for, wasn't ready for. Not a great start for Villarreal, but a great start for Tottenham Hotspur. And Thomas Frank and the Spurs team get their opening goal in the Champions League, get their first goal in the account very, very early in this game. 3 minutes in. Great ball down the wing from, I believe, Pedro Porro to Bergvall. Just absolute. I mean, I'll be honest, maybe not actually a great cross, really. Just an absolute howler from the goalkeeper. What is he doing there? I just don't even know how that happened. The ball was going the opposite direction. He somehow palms it backwards into his own goal. It's like an Andre Onana. He's doing his best Onana impersonation. That's an all-time howler. I completely agree, AK. Get in there, Ian. Come on. What an absolute howler. That's like, it's Andre Onana. Like, it honestly puts Onana to shame, really. It's probably one of the worst goalkeeping errors I've really seen in a long time. It's just amazing because the cross is not even going into the goal. Like, it's not, it would never have gone into the goal if he didn't just palm it into his own net. It's not like he just somehow like just threw it in with both hands. Amazing. Actually, really like one of the best own goals I've seen in a while. Not as good as Sergio Reguilon's against Newcastle, whichever one that was. Or maybe that was against maybe not Newcastle. Eric Dyer had that great own goal against Newcastle. And then Sergio Reguilon had that one, I think, during the COVID period. That's easily the best own goal I've ever seen. But in terms of goalkeeper own goals, like I said, it's up there in the Onana levels. It's probably like an 8 or a 9 on the Onana scale. That is just insanely bad luck. I'll take it. Absolutely take it every day of the week. Yeah, actually, Lloris had a one of those, didn't he? You're absolutely right, Nick. Those are the sort of hours Aurelio Gomez used to make. That's hilarious, DJ. That's how I'd play goalie if I had a bet against myself. So that's hilarious. Yeah, a little bit dodgy from the keeper there. Maybe you put a little bet on, first time goal inside 10 minutes for Spurs because I believe you can make bets when I used to be able to make some cheeky bets here and there when I was in New York. Sometimes you can do it like I think around the minute or the period of the game. I wonder if he put a hefty bet on goal for Spurs inside 10 minutes. Spurs deal with the corner well. Good clearance from Jet Spence. Jet Spence, man on. What are you doing, son? Jet Spence asleep. Thought he dealt with it. Good pressure from Xavi Simons, pushing the Villarreal team back. Renato Vega swings it out wide to the left, down Pedro Porro's side. Pedro, see that out? Well done, Bentancur. I hope we don't use up all our good luck today. Who knows? Maybe we'll just be a lucky season. A lucky season for us, Jason. We'll have these happen on a regular basis. Not to be outdone by England goalkeeper versus the US in 2010 World Cup. Yeah, that was also incredible. What was his name again? Rob Green. Is that right? Rob Green, goalkeeper? Very similar. Good touch from Pop Star. Simmons with a ball over the top for Bergvall. Keeper had to come out and clear it. Simmons has had a very bright start. Like I'm not missing any messages from people. Um, do smash the like button while you're in here, everybody. Really appreciate you guys keeping me company. Would absolutely suck just to be watching this on my own, middle of the day, no one there to keep me company. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, for a second, I thought we also were going to see another disaster. Would have been great, Jason. Take all the luck we can get. Long throw from Bergvall, who at the minute you would say, who are the long throw guys right now? Kevin Danzo, Bergvall. Any others that have taken part in the long throw? My goalkeeper knowledge is spot on then in terms of howlers, DJ. Villarreal send it long. Not dealt with well by Pedro Porro, though. Buchanan lets it run past him. Spurs recover really well, though, back into a good defensive shape. Yeah, how was that a goal kick? I kind of was going to say the same thing, Skunky. Nicholas Pepe being booed by the Spurs fans. Xavi Simmons does well there. Sir! Spurs fans loud. You can hear them. Building out from the back. Romero. Pedro Porro. Goes for a little switch into Pop Montasar. Finds Richarlison. Richarlison, he's just doing too much there. He gives it away. Had a good opportunity to break there. Sometimes for Charleston, you just feel like he does maybe a little bit too much. All he needed to do was just play it backwards. He tried to go for a big switch. Pedro Porro did well to find him, but then he just gives it away so unnecessarily with Charleston. Because if we did hold on to it there, we had numbers. Real tried to play it into midfield. Mikatadze does really well there. Plays it out wide down Pedro Porro's side. Top of the box. Way. Way there, the midfielder, absolutely sending that as a souvenir to the South Stand. Loving the energy from Xavi so far. Absolutely agree, AK. I think he's been class. Nice to get that opening goal, though. Just not like really, I bet there were much nerves. I don't have much nerves about this game. Not saying like, this isn't going to be an easy game or anything, but I don't know. It just feels good to be back in the Champions League. Just feels good to see Spurs playing on this type of grandeur, this type of huge type of level again. Feels like we're back where we belong. And then a team like Villarreal, I don't know, something maybe about them makes you feel like, it just gets you excited about the Champions League. But it's not like we're coming up against an absolute giant, to start off with. I guess no matter what, we would have just been in a good mood just to be back in the Champions League. Could have been Real Madrid. Who cares? Xavi Simmons, great switch of play from Pedro Porro. Oh, Xavi nearly does so well there. Sir, don't you dare. Well done from Xavi Simmons. Really good work rate. Working so hard defensively for the team. Richarlison as well. Xavi Simmons, full of energy defensively tonight. Great touches from Mickey Van de Ven, but he gives it away. Poor giveaway from Mickey. Did so well initially. Nicholas Pepe running at Romero. Can Romero deal with him? He doesn't. Nicholas Pepe! That was close. No way that was a corner. He did well to skip past Romero. and it goes just a little bit far beyond Vicario's right. Actually, it did take a deflection off Mickey Van de Ven. I think Romero has to do better there. Romero has to be able to get a tackle in, bring him down. Cleared away by Richarlison, not too convincingly though. Don't let it bounce, boys. Cleared away for a Villarreal throw in. Hard to say that regularly. Should I just start saying submarine? Submarine throw in? Saying Villarreal is just, I don't know. Maybe I used to be very good at Spanish. My Spanish game used to be very strong, but it's hard to say that repeatedly. Looks like Matt Wells is out in the technical area, giving some instructions to the defenders. Could have easily been 1-1, says Skunk. I mean, kind of a dangerous opportunity. He would have done well there to bury that Nicolas Pepe. That would have been a pretty serious finish. Good pressure, though. Spurs are putting on a high press here. Villarreal trying to build out, though, trying to get their foot on the ball. They wouldn't necessarily say they've had too much possession. Neither have Spurs. It's kind of just no team has really been able to dominate possession yet. Good tackle from Van de Ven. Pamatasar, good ball into Kudus. Kudus goes backwards to Poro. What can Kudus do with it? Finds a nice pass into midfield for Star. Lovely play from Kudus. So composed in possession. Every time Skunk works. Yeah, so far he's had some dodgy decisions with the goal kicks and the corners. Bentancur trying to settle into the game here. Romero on the ball. Telling Sar to come deep. Van de Ven out wide to Spence. He's got options, Spence, and he somehow gives it away. He's got options there. I don't know why he's giving it away there, but Spurs, good turnover from a bit of pressure from Richie. Richie, just get rid of it, man. Seriously, you got to simplify it sometimes, man. Just get rid of it. Why are you holding on to it that long? Kudus, Pedro. No issue with Spurs here trying to just get their foot on the ball. Start to relax a little bit. Don't need to. It's been very intense in terms of the running, you would say. There's been a lot of intense sprints that have happened so far. Richie's brain was doing an update or something. Yes, Jet Spence earlier, the same, Ribsy. There's a moment where Jet Spence dealt with it really well from a corner, cleared it, and then I don't know what the hell he was going. It was like he had a brain malfunction. He let a Villarreal player just get in front of him and take it from him. Like I don't know why he didn't think anybody would put pressure on. And he also had another little brain melt where he just gave the ball away when he had 3 or 4 players. But yeah, sometimes with Richie on the hold up play, I think Dave has said this, I have said this, like, just sometimes his hold up play can be really infuriating. He knows how to get onto the end of things. He knows how to be at the right place at the right time or just be a dangerous option when he's in the box or near the goal. But sometimes in his hold up play, he just needs to make it simpler. We've been hacked with malware. That's funny. September must be lovely in Spain. Oh, Kudus. Oh, sorry, Sar. Kudus was running alongside him. Bergvall showing for it. Kudus wants to take on his man, it looks like. He's drawing in defenders. Pedro Porro at the edge of the area. Back to Kudus. Can he take him on here? He's got space. Oh, see you later. Oh, plays it back. Bentancur. Good pressure, though. Good pressure from Spurs. The Villarreal player closed Bentancur down there. He wanted to have a clean strike, but he closed him down. He had to hit it with his left, Bentancur. If he had time, he probably would have been able to hit it with the right foot, but got closed down quickly enough. Yeah, seriously, that's so funny though that there's no Villarreal. Like I said, it's not a massive club. It's a tiny town. So maybe it's not a surprise that they don't have a ton of fans with them. Xavi Simmons whips it in, dangerous. Bounce towards their own goal from one of the clearances. Kudus, yeah, absolute animal the way he was taking him on there. Definitely gets you out of your seat. Yeah, September, probably a lovely time in Spain. No reason to make the trip over to London. Just enjoy the lovely weather there. Long throw from Bergval again. Can we win this? Jeez, Mikatadze. Or is that Buchanan? I think it might be Buchanan. Did really well there. Sir! You're taking Bergval out off the ball there. It's a reckless challenge. Bentancur has to play it back to Vicario. Villarreal putting pressure on us. Just make it easy, Vic. Make it easy. Vicario. End of end. Plays it to Spence. Finds Xavi Simmons deep. Sar gets onto a great job by Sar. Good positioning. He gives it away there, though. Doesn't need to give it away there. This should be a throw in. Referee. Simmons. Kudus. Great touches from Kudus. Sprays it out wide to Pedro. Tries to find Bergval. Lovely stuff from Spurs. This is lovely play. Going down this right side. Kudus whips it in to Xavi. Tries to flick it on to Richie. Jed out wide to Pop. Jed finds Xavi. He's coming into midfield. There's some lovely play there from Spurs to keep possession. Romero coming forward with it. Bentancur. Kudus tried to take on his man, but lost it. Bentancur. That's what I mean with Bentancur, though. The touches that he's taking there under pressure. He's surrounded by three Villarreal players, and he's just completely relaxed. Does well there, Bentancur, to win it. Bergval, he's right next to you, man. Villarreal going down our left side. They get it into Buchanan. Good block from Romero. Pedro finds Kudus. First time into Bergval. Bergval gets hacked. He's taking a few challenges here, Bergval. The referee needs to start copping onto this. Xavi Simmons marauding down this left side. Jet Spence, he's got, oh man, Jet. Nearly another sketchy moment for the Villarreal goalkeeper. That took a nasty deflection. But Jet Spence, he's got to just take on his man there. Why do you whip it in? He's got time. Some poor decisions in possession from Jet Spence, I'd say, this game. I do think we look good so far, Ribsy. If anything, we have a bit of urgency about us, which I like. If we push on for this second goal here in the first half, we could be well cruising. Maybe that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to get the second. Probably the plan was, to come out the gates. Pedro whips it in. Oh, top of the box for Sar. Poor giveaway from Sar. That's the only thing I would say, Ribsy. The only thing I would say is there have been some giveaways like that from Pop Sar that have just been a little bit sloppy at times. Not necessarily from Sar. That might be his first one, but Richie's had one or two. Jet Spence has had a couple. Ref is struggling, says Stevie. I'd agree. Xavi, lovely touch into Richie. Richie, just get rid of it, man. You receive the ball. You have options. Just play someone, man. Why does he need to take four or five touches? No way he's on. Yeah, he was offside there. Really good recovery from Bentancur. Benton class. For Charleston, man, sometimes his hold up play, like I'm saying, it can be just really head wrecking. Buchanan's got pace though. As much as he's kind of struggled since making his move from Club Brugge, he does have a bit of pace. Where's this ref from? Someone said Slovenia. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. And if anyone ever wants to stop me at any point, appreciate the commentary from you guys. Appreciate the company. Bentoncourt onto Van de Ven. Starting to settle into more of a shape here, Villarreal. Like I said earlier, maybe putting a bit of pressure on us, trying to force us into a mistake. Luckily, we forced their goalkeeper into a mistake under no real pressure at all. Kudus, great hold up play. They're in more of their 4-4-2 block at the minute. And with the 4-4-2, it's really good for countering. It's a very good counter-attacking shape. There's the Lewis family and Vinay in attendance. Johan Lange as well. The ghost of Levy in the chairs. Pedro Porro tries to play it long to Bergvall, but doesn't work. Big clearance from Villarreal. Can Romero get onto this? Win this, Rom. Rom, win this, son. Poor clearance from Romero there. Oh no, it's switched to the back post. Ooh. Buchanan, absolute miss there. That's a bad miss. He's at least got to get that on target. Not that I care, but this was dealt with poorly by Van de Ven initially. And then Romero, he's letting it bounce. He's got to win that. His clearance is also poor. Not great from Romero there. It's a terrible finish from Buchanan. Let's hope that the rest of the chances, if any, go to him tonight. Romero finds a lovely ball into Sar, but gives it away. Like I say, there's been some nice stuff from Spurs, but also there's just been some poor giveaways at times. Even Romero there, he had the opportunity to make a decent clearance and he just couldn't. And then there have been some times with Richie and Spence and others, it's just been some bad giveaways. Win that, Rich. Nicolas Pepe is playing a blinder so far. He's actually been the most dangerous man on the pitch, you could say. Marcelino, their manager, is absolutely furious with something. Doing his best Arteta impression. Been rather sloppy overall. Yeah, I think there's been some sloppiness. It's good energy, you would say, from Spurs. It's not like they're lacking in the fight or the energy, but has been some sloppy moments. How wide are the goals in Canada? That's hilarious. Sir! Good to see you, Thomas. Hopefully everything's all right with you. Everything is awesome. Dunkirk saying disappointed with the attack. We've gotten into some dangerous areas. We just have had a bit of sloppiness. We've had some good moments where we could have fastened a good move or a good transition, and then that's just been given away at times unnecessarily. That would be my take on it. Xavi has had a good start. I'd agree. Jed, lovely feet from Jed. All right, Nicolas Pepe is playing way too good here. What the hell happened to him? He used to be so terrible. Bit of nerves from our guys. Yeah, I think nervous energy. But like I was saying, in terms of actual oh, good transitional moment here. Kudus, can he do something with it? Find Richie. Come on, Kudus. Have a shot yourself, lad. Ah, should have been able to get something on target there. What's the referee seen? That was a good transitional moment there for Kudus. He felt like he could have done a bit better with that. Maybe took the wrong option to shoot it with the right foot. He felt like he could have tried to get it onto his left. That's where the space was to try to get an open shot. Romero, good header into Bentancur. Bentancur again, like people don't notice this, but like the touch that he has there is just sublime. He's just so composed and possessed. Rarely gives it away. Especially, not maybe as much in the past, but more just like when he does receive the ball under pressure, his touch and his decision making with the ball at his feet in those situations is just class. Romero trying to play out from the back here. Bergvall, man on. Referee, can we get something here? He's not giving Bergvall anything tonight. Come through him, Bentancur. Well done, son. Well done, Bents. Van de Ven. Surging forward, Van de Ven. Leaves it short for Xavi. Ugh. That's another example of just, again, just a weird giveaway. Like Van de Ven is bursting forward and then he leaves it short for Xavi. Why is he giving that as a yellow card? Referee, I would say, has had a howler tonight. It's a stomp on the foot, but it's really nothing much in that. Thank you, Boston Spurs. Man, appreciate you. Villarreal try to pump it long, but Van de Ven is there. Bentancur, time on the ball. Does so well, Bentancur. Kudos. We've got some dog situation here. Sir! Oh! Might have to put the doggy in the cage if he's being a bad boy. Bentancur. Ah, he gets poked away there, though. That's poor from Bents. It's a breakaway for Villarreal. Well done from Pedro Porro and Romero there. Lucas Bergvall, bit of skill. Richarlison plays it behind Xavi. Can we break forward here? Richie, make a run in behind. Kudus and Xavi on the same side here. Spurs a bit lopsided. Xavi. Jet Spence. It's a good hit from Pop Montessori. I agree. Ripsy. Mm. Mickey Van de Ven. You can hear the Spurs fans giving Van de Ven his praise. Pop Montessori. A lot of possession here for Spurs. Just need to start being a bit more clever. Oh, it's lovely stuff from Xavi Simmons. It's a beautiful back heel to Jet Spence. Jet Spence with a switch of play. Kudos, can he get onto this? Don't you ref? It's so late. It's so late, man. Why is this? Why is this whistle just so delayed? It's like he's on delay at the minute. This ref, man. I don't even see anything in that. He's not even touched him. He's not even touched him. But it was also like he's just making his decision so late. That's the infuriating thing. It doesn't feel instinctual from the referee. It's like he's on delay. Charleston's picked up a yellow. I'm not sure what for. Referee has not necessarily been, you would say, very fair about the whistles tonight because yeah, Richarlison's a bit of a dumb challenge. That one you could maybe make the case was a yellow card. It was just dumb from Richie. Good pressure though from Bergvall. Oh, unlucky from Poro. Cleared away by Villarreal. Spurs back onto the ball here. Ref's trying to be the star tonight, says Simon. Yeah. Star, lovely pass into Romero. Just recycling the play. Romero plays a lovely pass in Bergvall. Great touch from Bergvall. Can we get a card for that one, ref? There we go. Thank you, sir. Good boy. Good ref. Yeah, I mean, it's just dumb from the Real player there. One of their defenders, maybe actually, he might be a midfielder, I believe is in the book. Let me see what it was from earlier. Comasanya, one of their midfielders in the book. Pedro Porro with the free kick. Kudus whips it in. Back post. Romero gets onto it. Richie, sir! Surely that's a penalty shout. Referee. Good win for Pedro. How are we not? Come on, boys. Sorry, absolutely clatters into the player there. Xavi, lovely feet from Xavi. Referee's got to blow his whistle at some point, man. Ref is losing the plot. Completely agree. Ref is having a mare though. He's got to blow his whistle at some point. Xavi Simmons just taken out there. Great touch. I'd say Xavi Simmons has actually been the most clean in possession so far. He's not given it away too many times, and he's had some bits and pieces of quality. Surely there's a penalty shot though there earlier on Richarlison. Doesn't get a touch onto it, but steps in front of the player there. Gueye goes through the back of him. Wouldn't know. Like if Richie gets a touch on it, maybe it's a penalty. Potential penalty check. Check over. Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be a pen. I think that's a pen if Richie touches the ball, but the fact that he doesn't touch the ball there, I agree. Maybe a bit of a dive from Rich. I don't blame it. I'd be doing the same thing. He's got to maybe try to touch the ball because if you do get a touch onto the ball, that is a penalty. Yeah, he sort of steps across the defender more than the defender maybe stepping across him. But like I said, if you get a touch on the ball there and you're able to bring it down, I do think that could be a pen. Kudus. Lovely hold up play from Kudus. Lovely stuff from Kudus. It's nice to have just 2 quality wingers in possession now, like Kudus and Simmons. They've probably been the most controlled in possession so far, and they're not negative either. They're not just going sideways and backwards every time. They're looking to do something with it, or if there's nothing on, they will make the right decision in possession. They're not just giving it away unnecessarily, like some other players in the team have, or like I would say with Johnson, man. Like Johnson, he's just so negative in possession sometimes. Ooh, that almost spilled our way there. Spurs putting the pressure on though in midfield. Get there, Simmons. Bentancur. Bentancur's got to be smarter there. He's got options. He had a free header to bring it down. He just gives it right back to Villarreal. Pedro, he's got time. Mohamed Kudus plays it down the wing to Bergval. Bergval whips it in. Looks like a handball. Outside the box, though. Renato Vega, former Chelsea player with the handball. Bergval in a similar position that he had for the goal where he's whipping it in. Silver Surfer, Spilver, Spurfer. Will somebody tell that ref that yellow submarine doesn't refer to yellow cards? Literally, dude. I just some of their yellow cards have been the right decision. There have been some reckless challenges, but one of the ones he gave, the one he gave on Xavi, man, that was just ridiculous. And then Van de Ven's, was it Van de Ven that received one that didn't make a lot of sense? I believe it was Van de Ven. That one didn't make any sense at all either. And then there have been some naughty challenges from Villarreal that just haven't been given for a yellow card. Bergval's taken a few harsh challenges. Yeah, somehow a handball at the edge of the box isn't one. Yeah, he's not having a good day, this referee. He's just trying to fit in, you know? He's trying to fit in. He sees so many yellow jerseys, yellow kits. He's like, "Wait, I have something yellow as well." He really has been he's also just like I think it was AK Shegs, Spilvers, Spurfer that he's trying like a lot of these refs, it's Champions League night. They're just trying to get on the cameras. They get the fresh haircut, like Dave says. Pedro Porro whips it in your post. Bentancur could do better with that. Just don't think that landed on the right part of his head. Or he tried to maybe flick it instead of just try to hit it. I think he just missed it. I think it hit him on his shoulder. Yeah, like he really tried to he tried to knot it in. He wasn't trying to flick it or anything, but it just hit him in the shoulder. Vicario, clear. Thank you, Vic. Come on, Xavi. Lovely from Xavi. Richie, dude. Again, though, that's like an example with me with Rich. I just feel like he's got Bergval sitting right next to him. Just first time it to for Bergval, or even after your first touch, just get it into Bergval. Why is Richie trying to take on 3, 4 guys there? He's lucky he gets the free kick. Pedro, Kudus. The strength of Mohamed Kudus. Romero plays it into Bentancur, plays it back to Vic. Time now for Mickey Van de Ven. He goes long. It's not terribly weighted to Xavi Simmons. Should be a corner. Not a corner. Surprised. 3, 4 minutes away here from halftime. Feel free to get in your comments, your thoughts. Not really especially panicked by the way the game has gone, but like I said, maybe some just sloppy moments of quality from Spurs. Some bad giveaways. That's all I say. When we had the opportunity. Oh, Kudus. Find Xavi. Xavi, back post. Find Pedro. Bergval into Xavi. Oh! They're asking for another handball. Another handball. Yeah, it looks like another handball. I don't know, hard to say there. Yeah, that would be tough. Yeah, that'd be harsh. I agree. Ray Hill. I think that'd be pretty harsh. Should we pull Xavi off given his yellow card? Definitely not. I think he's smart enough not to put in a lazy challenge or anything to get a second yellow. This referee, though, you don't know with the way this ref has been. You don't want to take any risks, but I think Xavi's probably been our best player. Not saying too much, like it's not like he's been scintillating or anything, but he's one of the few players tonight I would say that has been smart in possession. A lot of careless giveaways. Like I was saying, in transitional moments when we had an opportunity to maybe create an attack, to create at least a move to get into the final third, it's been poorly given away. Sometimes Villarreal have just given it straight back to us, and then we give it straight back to them. And that's what's maybe more frustrating because it's not like Villarreal have been especially, clean in possession either. Trying to find a different word, but you know what I mean. See, Xavi there is a good example, just the way he's holding it up there. But then he's also found a way to get it forward when need be. Good switch of play to Pedro Porro. It's just some of the stuff Xavi and Kudus do on the wings, you just would never see Johnson do in your entire life. Kudus, lovely bit of skill. Finds Pedro Porro. Pedro whips it in. Keeper comes out. Xavi. Ah, have a hit, man. Richie, it's in the box here. Ah, Richie. Oh, Xavi. I felt like you could have had a hit there, Xavi. It falls to him, and the keeper came out to punch it, and he wasn't in his own net. Yeah, could he have had a hit here? I felt like he could have tried to go for like a dink or a bit of a curler. Just see if you force him into a save or a clearance there. And then Richie, good movement, but I feel like again, Richie could have maybe tried to do a bit better with that. He had people at the back post. I think he went for a shot. Oh, right into the middle, but dealt with well by Villarreal. Why are we letting it bounce, boys? We keep letting these bounce. Sar, hold on to this, please. Xavi finds Kudus. Final minutes here for Spurs. Can we fasten one more? Lovely feet for Bentancur. Lovely feet. Is there going to be a minute? Yeah, a minute of added time. Nicholas Walker from earlier. Bring Richie off at halftime. Don't need a silly red. We'll get on to that, Nicholas. I appreciate the support, by the way. Thanks to everybody being here with me. Thanks for the support tonight. Thanks for keeping me company. This keeper is dodgy. I agree, AK. Romero, Xavi, or sorry, Kudus. Final seconds here, dying out. Yep, this referee blows it up. I mean, I wouldn't be going insane about that first half. I wouldn't also be praising us especially, but I don't think we've been that much better or worse than Villarreal. You would say it's almost a bit even at the minute. I just think Spurs, with the possession we've had, I just think we could just be a bit better with it, a bit smarter with it. There have been times, like I've mentioned plenty of times, like just giving it away, like straight back to the Villarreal team when we just don't need to. Probably some moments, in transition that we could have just done better with, either with the pass, retaining possession, or even just the shot. Like Kudus maybe had one or two breakaways where he was running right at their back line and just wasn't able to really fashion a shot. There was that chance towards the end there where I could make the case that Xavi Simmons, I kind of wish he pulled the trigger. But I don't know, like it feels like it's mostly in control from us. There's been 1 or 2 breakaways for Villarreal that were dangerous, but not really down to Villarreal's quality. It's actually more just at times, I think, just some indecisiveness and to a degree, a bit of poor defending. Spurs have had 63% possession. We've had more attempts, 8 attempts, 1 attempt on target. Not enough corners, you could argue. Like, we should be able to get more corners, knowing how dangerous we are from them. But yeah, let's get on to Nicholas Walker's super chat. I appreciate you, Nicholas, man. He's saying we controlled it. First European game, nice and controlled, no injuries. I'm not going to be super negative about it. I would just say, like, there have been some transitional moments where we were a bit sloppy. I would just say a bit sloppy at times. Not breathtaking quality from Spurs, but it's not been poor either. I think some people could be a little bit harsh at times. And a lot of conversations about the referee, like people have mentioned. But you saying bring Richie off at halftime. We don't need a silly red. Yeah, 2 things with Richie on the red card. That yellow card that he got was one of the yellow cards that I would say was justified. It was a late challenge. It was not really a not good one either. Like, he kind of just sort of stomped on the guy really late. And so I think it was always going to be blown up as a yellow card. It just wasn't a smart challenge, to be honest. And then when it comes to his game in general tonight, I would say he's been probably one of the wouldn't say he's been poor, but he's not been great either. I just think there have been times when he's in possession and he's not had a ton of service into him tonight where he's had the opportunity to hold up the ball. But when he does, I just think he's asking too much of himself. He's usually just trying to do too much, in my opinion. He'll try to hold up the ball and then look to try to spin his man or try to take 4 or 5 touches when he's being surrounded by defenders. He just doesn't need to. He just needs to lay it off simply and get the move going. Because sometimes when you're the striker and you're just being hounded by your defender, once you get that ball under control and he can't get it off you, it really is just about finding someone who has the vision forward to be able to see what's ahead of you, because your back is to goal. You don't need to try to get turned and then pick up your head and see what's out there. Just try to play the ball backwards or sideways to someone that is available. They usually know who to go to next. They'll usually find someone that might be open, and then you can roll off your defender and then make a run in behind or get into the box. And he just needs to simplify the hold up play for me. That would be my take on Richarlison. And then if anyone would pick up a second red or a second yellow, it probably would be him. I trust Xavi Simons not to. I don't think he's that sort of player that would. And who else has a yellow card? Let me just refresh and see. Van de Ven. I thought Van de Ven for some reason had one, but he doesn't. Xavi Simons and Richarlison are the ones with yellow cards. I would look to maybe get Richie off. Can you trust him for like 5-10 minutes in the second half? Probably. But if he doesn't get into the game, doesn't contribute as much in the build-up play, you could look to try to bring on someone like Kolo I'd argue. I'm not sure. Yeah, Kolo is the obvious choice, really. There's no one else that can necessarily play up front, apart from Dane Scarlett, of course. And I know everyone wants to see Brennan Johnson given an opportunity there, but in a game like this, I don't see it being. Also, just Johnson hold up plays probably about as bad as Richarlison's, if not worse. Especially playing as a striker, where it's just so much harder to hold up the ball than it is on the wings. I'd say our best players, by the way, on the pitch tonight have been Kudus and Xavi Simons. I wouldn't say like it's been breathtaking from them, but they've been smarter in possession than others have, and they have looked to be positive with it when the opportunity has arisen. I just say with Kudus, there's been 1 or 2 breakaways where I just felt like he could have done a little bit better in manifesting a clearing to be able to get a good shot on goal. That would be my only thing. Xavi, I actually think has been quality, really. Again, nothing like to absolutely rave about, but they haven't been poor at by any means at all. I would say probably the biggest positive is just when we have gotten the ball to our wingers, they're not losing it and they're getting us up the pitch. They're making good switches of play. There have been some really great switches of play to move the ball quickly. From Pedro Porro, he's gone for some big long switches. Kudus has done it. Xavi Simons has done it. So that's a big positive to take, as I do like that we're going for these switches of play, which was something we didn't do as much under Ange, kind of frustratingly, maybe because we didn't have the players to do it. Like someone like Johnson, some of the switches of play you've seen from Xavi Simons and Kudus, it's just Johnson is just not capable of it at all. But I did like some of the directness that Spurs have had. when it comes to it. Ian Ferguson saying, not bad, but not great either. I'm kind of in that boat. DB, always good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in, sir. Saying, I think we done okay, pretty controlled. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Again, nothing like I would overly praise, but nothing I would be too critical about. The only big kind of just takeaway for me has just been, like I mentioned before, just some sloppiness at times in possessions, just some bad giveaways when we had an opportunity to break and then we just gave it right back to them. Or it's just been second ball, like we're on to it, and then we just, give it right back when it's another opportunity to just bring it down, control the game even more, build out some more possession. That's just the way I'd see it. Paul Bean saying, I know it's cliche, but this has been a horribly officiated game. I don't think if it's cliche, who cares, really, man? Like, I think a lot of people have felt that way. There's been a lot of comments about the referee tonight. Even Android saying ref's been a nightmare. Their goalkeeper has probably been our best player for us tonight. Too much back passing when the wing playing balls in a box. I think we need to test the goalkeeper a bit more. He looks shaky. This goalkeeper, he really does. He's not in any way, I think, recovered from that initial mistake. He has a bit of nervousness about him. Release the Scarlet. He's the one of our own. Arc starts tonight. He's shown up big in the European nights before that night against Elfsborg, right? He had a wonderful, wonderful night against Elfsborg. Alan Glauber, stop whining about non-penalties. Think about strategy and tactics. P Money, I like how Kudus takes on his man. He's always so positive with the ball. So positive. And it's just like I said, he rarely gives it away. If he's giving it away, it's when he's running at his man, trying to make something happen, trying to be positive with it. Completely agree. Romero has been shaky. I can't lie. His passes have been good, but he's been commanding he hasn't been commanding to clear his line. I would say that. I would agree. Like, I think his passing out from the back has been all right. We know how good he is, in my opinion. Like, I posted a clip of the other day. I think he's one of the best passing center backs in the world. There was that one really bad moment. That was like, I think Villarreal have like, what, two good chances. One of them was Nicolas Pepe. Just didn't deal with it well. Like, he had an opportunity to put in a challenge. And there was that one where it was bouncing and Romero just for some reason didn't deal with it. And then he had an opportunity again to deal with it where he could have just cleared it. His clearance was terrible. And then I believe that was the chance that then fell to Buchanan, the Canadian international. He made an absolute mess of it. He really should have done a lot better with it. We were proud. That was the one I think we were really lucky. I think the Nicolas Pepe chance, as much as I wish Romero was able to put in a challenge on him defensively, it would have been a hell of a goal for Nicolas Pepe if he was actually able to get that on target. And in a way, too, though, it did look like Vic might have had it covered. It would have taken a special effort to get it past Vicario. How do we not get a pen out of either of those? I don't know. Like, I'm not that incensed about the penalties. I'm more like there's just been some random fouls here and there that have not been given to us. And then some of the yellow card for Xavi Simons was just ridiculous. And then I would say that there are some yellow cards that should have been given to some of the Villarreal players who put in some naughty challenges here and there. Trinidad, Kudus doesn't look as usual 100%. Maybe Champions League nerves, not closing down as much or running to support attacks. Also coming over to the left a lot. Let's hope we can tighten up and be more clinical. It's not been it's not been scintillating from Kudus, but I don't think he's been poor either. I just would say he's had one or two, like I mentioned, one or two opportunities where I just wish he was able to get more of a shot on goal from it. You could make the case that Jet Spence, top quality fullback, but his ability to get forward is limited on the left because he's right-footed. He had one chance where he could have been able to just take it into the box and then wait for someone to sort of slide across for him to be able to poke it towards, but he went for like a panicked left-footed cross, and it was a poor one because it's difficult to be able to cross with both feet. I think if that's something you never worked on before in your game, it doesn't strike me as a guy that can consistently put in a good cross with his weaker foot. So I just felt like there was that one moment there down the left side where it was it might have been Xavi Simons who, slid it towards him. And then all you need to do is just take one or two touches and he would have been in the penalty area. And once you're in the penalty area, someone's going to have to come towards you. Like, you can't just leave him alone. And then maybe there could have been space that opened up for him. So I would say, and Spence, I would say he had some opportunities to just be a bit smarter in possession. He was kind of guilty, like a few of the others, of giving it away. SARS maybe been guilty once or twice of giving it away. I think Bentancur, like I said, his first touch in possession, being put under pressure is usually really good. But I just would say sloppy giveaways have been my big takeaway from this half, to be perfectly honest. They've had better chances, says Allen. I think the Buchanan chance was the best chance of the game. Just didn't take it, made an absolute meal of it. So we're lucky. That was a better player. Maybe they would have potentially taken advantage of that. Feels good, though, to be 1-0 up. I think Spurs were really trying to push for that second goal in the first 20-ish minutes. And then the game started to kind of settle down, started to take shape a bit more. You got to see Villarreal start to sit back in more of a shape. We got more possession, but with that, when they were sitting back a bit more, it was harder to break them down. But there was a lot of energy. There was a lot of running. There were some really high intensity sprints inside that first, 20-ish minutes or so. Even after the goal, like it's not like Spurs all of a sudden just settled down. There's like a lot of this kind of energetic running. Some people will call it like kind of nervous running, like in the first 20 minutes. Just so much adrenaline. You could tell maybe it was pumping through some of the players, but um, I don't know. I think they've probably had the one better chance, but they've not had a lot of chances. This Villarreal team, I wouldn't say they've had a lot. That'd be my argument. I don't think it's not been littered with chances for really either team, to be honest. I would look at that one towards the end where I just wish Xavi Simmons could have done, not saying better with. I wish he I wish he took the effort. Like I wish he actually took the risk and just tried to sort of dink it over the player, or dink it over the keeper there, because it did kind of fall towards him. I just think there was an opportunity there for Xavi Simmons, to be honest. The referee's been soft, but he set the tempo. He won't hesitate to send players off. We need to pass through the ball better to avoid getting booked. I think we would avoid getting booked by some of these poor giveaways. Like some of these poor giveaways have led to players being a bit panicked in trying to, you give the ball away and then you're panicked and you want to try to win the ball back. And then in those situations, you might tend to leave a foot out, go into the challenge a bit more aggressively, less controlled than usual. I think that's what's happened on a couple of occasions where it's just been a bad giveaway and then you try to make up for it by going after it. And then, once they pass around you, you're just flying into someone and then it's a late challenge. But yeah, some of the yellow cards I wouldn't say have been the best of decisions. Spence was hiding the whole game, bringing Udogi in the second half. Yeah, you could. I don't think Spence, like, I would just say in possession, he hasn't really been great. Defensively, he's been fine. The most dangerous player for Villarreal looks to be Nicolas Pepe. Strangely enough, because we know his time at Arsenal wasn't so great, but he's been dangerous at times. He's probably just been the most skillful and has had some of the better touches, some of the better decisions in this game. When it falls to him, he seems to be more dangerous than the other players. Spurs are coming out the tunnel, though. We're about to get started in the second half. Appreciate anybody that's joined me. Like I said, if you want to stop or mention anything, I'm happy to respond to you guys. Thanks for keeping me company for this game. Smash the like button if you haven't already, too, everybody. I don't know about putting on Danzo yet, Swim Master. If it leads to 80th minute, kind of period, and it's still 1-0, maybe you put on Danzo just to see out the rest of the game. I'm a defensive minded person. I don't have any issue with that. But you then give Villarreal the chance to have a bit more possession, try to get on the ball a bit more, which I don't think we need to do yet. Romero's not had a great game defensively, though, but it's not like you pull off your captain. And it's only been one half of football. It was a hard kind of first half to analyze. Like we said, nothing too terrible, but nothing too great either, really. If I'm missing anything, feel free to let me know, everybody. But we're about to get kicked off here in the second half. I believe you're not allowed to even have beers in the stadium. Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure you're not even allowed to have beers in the stadium for Champions League. There's no drinking allowed. So a lot of fans, though, did leave and are coming back to their seats. And the crowd has been relatively loud. I have them on a very muted Yeah, I'm not able to like hear them full blast, through my headphones, but the crowd's been relatively loud at times. We need to get the next goal. I agree, AK. I don't think we should try to go more defensive yet. I think we should try to push on for the second goal. Got away with that one from Bentancur. Not sure if he meant to get it to Kudus. Kudus with a brilliant touch. Really good touch. Vicario, please. Bad giveaway from Vic. Terrible from Vic. It falls to Perez, I believe. Ah, it's poor from Perez. Sir! Romero absolutely gets taken out there. He's got to give that as a foul. Romero a bit weak there, but that was a foul. Vicario, terrible clearance. Kudus. He's not giving any foul. Like for in the beginning of the game, the referee was calling everything. Now he's calling nothing. I just don't get it. He was very soft in the first half. Now he's letting everything go. It's hard to understand what he would call and what he wouldn't. Van de Ven. Out wide to Spence. Lovely cut inside from Spence. He's going to go for a big switch. Does he find the player? No, he doesn't. Think he was trying. It's hard to tell if he was going for Richie or Kudus there. Seemed to be going for Kudus, but it was way off it. Some people want Richie subbed off. I think you give him 5-10 minutes here, see if he improves. Bentancur got slapped in the face there. Pedro Porro was out of position. VILLARREAL player can't decide which ball he wants. Is he going for a long throw? Seems to be. He's getting the ball wiped. Foul throw after all that build up. That's hilarious. Stefan Blois, good to have you with me, man. I hate to be that guy, but I just don't think I think we should be better in the final third. I don't think that's a unhinged thing to say or anything wrong with that. That was the case last season. That was my big gripe about last season. As much as we were not secure defensively, I did feel like Spurs lost a lot of games because of the lack of quality going forward. And when we did get forward, when we did have attacking opportunities, we just weren't devastating. We weren't clinical. It's not like clinical is always means having a shot and doing better with a shot on goal. It's like just decision making. Decision making when you're in the final third, decision making when you get an opportunity. How is the Villarreal players taking it past 4 or 5 Spurs players there? We should have been able to win it and we would have been through. Sar, who is this? That Juan Foyth. He's absolutely skilled past the whole Spurs team. Xavi Simmons does really well there. Jed Spence is terrible from Jed. He leaves it short for Xavi. It's a bad giveaway. This is what I mean. We've had these transitional moments and then we just give it right back to them. It's poor. Jed, he's got to recover there. Richie, don't do too much. I swear, dude, he's just. Why does every time when Richie holds it up, he's got to take 10 touches? Should we just start calling them Villa, Simon? I'm tired of saying Villarreal. I'm tired of saying the whole word. I'm going to start just calling them Villa. If we start calling them Villa too, they probably have less of a chance of scoring. I believe Villa haven't scored a goal all season, if I'm correct. Champions of Europe, we know who we are. What a challenge from Mickey Van de Ven. Good recovery there. Villarreal are coming out the gates here. Jed, can you just get rid of it, man? Dude, he's got. Why is he just taking it all the way up to Xavi when he can just give it to him earlier and he give it away still? What a challenge from Mickey Van de Ven. World class. Sorry, you got to make a run for him, man. Lovely feat from Kudus there. The composure to do that bit of hesitation just threw off Kudus and Simmons. Like I was saying, the players I would not accuse of being as sloppy. Really good decision making at times. Vicario. Has Jed Spence ever played in a Champions League game, by the way? Is this his first Champions League game? Does anyone know that in the chat? I don't think he ever featured under Conte in the Champions League. I think it was more other competitions. He barely played at all under Conte, if we're being perfectly honest. Good header from Bergvall. He got taken out as well. That better be called back for a yellow card. It's a shocking challenge. Richarlison, bro. Come on, dog. It's terrible. Buchanan slips past Poro. What a challenge from Romero. Richarlison, man, he just tries to do way too much. Dude. Yeah, that was a shocking challenge on Bergvall. Referee's probably doing a little bit better here on getting the cards right. Renato Vega, that's one of their center backs on a yellow card now. Yeah, that was a bad challenge on Bergvall. He's got to hold that up, though, Richarlison. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was the case against Bournemouth. Just as a striker, it's probably one of your main jobs. Of course, get the goals, but when the ball is played into you, need to be smart in possession. It's just so terrible. It's what I do. Like, him and Solanke struggles to get the chances that Richarlison does. Jeez, what is going on here? Yeah, just get that out of there. Get there, Xavi. Surely he's offsides. Surely he's offsides. Surely he was offsides. He looked offsides there, ref. That's just such a bad giveaway, though, from Richarlison. Like, we should not have to defend. We should not be defending right now. We should probably be in the final third of Villarreal if he just holds that up. He had numbers as well. Set piece here for Villarreal. Good to see you, Tartan Spurs, my fellow man in Scotland. Oh, geez, dangerous there. Spurs let that bounce in the box. On Foyth getting on to the end of it. Romero not being, or Bentoncourt not being strong enough there. Well, Matisse Tell can't play because he's not in the Champions League squad. Paolo. Good playing out here. Good touches from Sar. Jed into Xavi. Now move it quickly here. There we are. Romero, get it forward. Romero sprays it past. It gets intercepted by Gueye. They're transitioning on us here, though. Yeesh! Nicholas Pepe, another big chance for him. That was a good chance again for Nicholas Pepe. Very similar. It's poor from Romero. He goes for an audacious pass into Pop Montasar. Maybe just doesn't need to. Just simplify it. Try to get to Pedro Porro, and it leads to a really good counterattack for Villarreal. Has he given this as a corner? We need to wake up. I agree, Tartan. We've not looked good in the second half. It's probably their second best chance of the evening. Now he's given his goal kick. Second best chance of the evening, I'd say. The first one that Pepe had would have been a hell of a goal. Kudus, good first touch. Goes for that switch of play. Not able to do it this time. Mickey and on Bents. Another bad. It's just again, we've been poor in possession, just some bad giveaways. Oh, Richie, man. Well done from Bentancur. Richie, though, why is he letting that pass? Gotta take Richie off. How is he letting that pass get by him there? Just a little bit. Bentancur, man, what are these giveaways, lads? Come on. Can we just it's simple passes here, lads. Just so unnecessary. Simmons, find him. Yeah, it feels like we're still in the dressing room. Just unforced errors. It's the word I've been looking for all night. Romero, simple, man. Simple. Vicario. Pedro. Into Kudus. Good hold up play again from Kudus. He does so well with his back to goal. It's back to his defender. And then he gives it away. Just give it away sooner, man. Just get rid of the ball sooner. Pedro, great interception. Let's do something with this one, please, boys. Pedro's absolutely surging. Good cutback. Give it to him, man. Kudus. Pedro, back to Kudus. Now find Richie. Terrible cross. Sar. Find him. To Simmons. It's too heavy. Too heavy. Again, it's just simple balls, simple passes. Simple balls, simple passes. We are so wasteful. Sloppy passes. These are good little moments here, and that's just poor. Kudus, good opportunity to switch play. Can't do it. Gives it away. Then we get the ball back. Good opportunity for Kudus to put in a cross. Can't put in a good cross. Good opportunity for Star there to slip in Xavi Simmons. Overplays it. That's just been the story of the evening. That's why we're lucky probably to have this opening goal. We need to really just step our game up in terms of quality. Just get rid of it, Vic. Kudus hold up play is seriously ridiculous. He's so good playing with his back to his defender. Ref, good job by Sar this time. Simmons, good play from Simmons. Jet Spence, left foot across. Poor cross. Find Bergs. Bergval, lovely stuff from Bergval. Tries to whip it across. Really good play from Bergval. 60 minutes. I think Frank should start thinking about substitutions. Archie Gray was going into the tunnel. I wonder why. I completely agree with Ribsy here. The complete lack of quality. The intent has been good, but it's just so ugly. That's exactly what I would describe it as. It's not like we've been totally negative or anything. Like it's not like we're playing sideways the whole time. Like we're trying things, but it's just really lacking a bit of quality. Doesn't even require much quality. Some of these have been simple passes, simple balls. Near post! Get to this, Jed. Great going for a tire. Why is Spence still on the pitch? I think Spence should probably be taken off if Udogie is available. Spence has had some opportunities going forward he's done nothing with. And I wouldn't say he's in possession, just in general, building out from the back. He hasn't been amazing. The way everyone's playing has people nervous, says Paolo. Probably true. Whatever we're trying to do, it's not being executed well. I think, yeah, like we've had times to carve something open, and then we just can't because we can't complete sometimes a simple pass. I think we have barely 50% of completed passes the last 15 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised. Surely that's going out of play. Wow, what a switch. Spurs fans booing every time Pepe touches the ball. Come out, Vic. Anticore. Good pass and a Bergval. Bergval surging forward. Just get turned, Bergs. Kudus, find Bents. Lovely play from Kudus. Pedro tries to whip it across to Richarlison. Not a bad idea, but keeper saw it. He read him. Exactly, Jason. Spurs are playing in the yellow third kit. They're finding it very hard to play to each other. I could see them nicking a goal, Swim Master. I agree. The way we've come out in the second half hasn't been good enough. I just think it's going to need to be players need to start thinking about some rotation here. Kolomowani would be nice to see him come on. I don't think you need to make any changes to the wingers or even really the midfield unless you want to bring on Paulinho. But I don't think this game is calling out for Paulinho. I think it's just calling for more quality in possession. We could think about getting Xavi into the midfield, but hard. Hard to say. Romero. Maybe a bit more pace down the wings with Odebear. Bergval on the ball here. He's got time. Pedro. Bergval's got time again. Find Bentancur. Xavi. Lovely touches from Xavi. Sar tried to switch play to Kudus. There's just kind of, yeah, a bit of nervousness, a bit of groans from the Spurs fans because, again, the play just hasn't been good. It's not been something that would fill you with confidence. We are giving Villarreal a chance the longer it stays 1-0. Yeah. Andrew Spurs, Moani must be better than Richie, surely. I mean, I'm not like going to talk about Richie in general, like, but in this game, solely just in isolation, this game, I mean, he's offered very little. And there was a chance there where he like needed to be sharper defensively. Oh, Jed, sir, Jed gets taken out. Mickey Van de Ven tries to take out a player. Uh oh, Simmons, that was dangerous there. Simmons could have maybe gotten a second yellow there. Simmons could have easily gotten a second yellow. I would have been wrong. Would have ate my words. This is where Frank does have to maybe think about. Yeah, very lucky boy. A Villarreal fan has a red card in the stands, like he's Dave. Spanish version of Dave. Very lucky boy, Xavi. Come out, Vic. Vic, relax. 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 Oro. Just doesn't feel necessary. Like, again, we're just giving the ball right back to them. We really shouldn't be. Like, at this point, you're in the 66th minute. Just start to settle down a little bit. Try to work your moves. It doesn't need to be urgent and desperate at this point. We're struggling to find that final ball anyways. Like, we're struggling to be good enough direct. Playing that ball from Pedro Porro is just unnecessary. We're just giving the ball right back to them. No, it's decent play from Villarreal. The card just open here. Out wide to Pepe, one on one with Spence. Good block from Xavi. Thomas Frank at this point, man, please get on a sub. Yep, subs are coming on. Palhinha is coming on. Czar being taken off. He's played a lot of minutes. Sorry, that makes sense, to be fair. He's played a lot of minutes. I think having Bentancur next to Palhinha could be good. To be strong defensively. You do have someone like Bentancur who can. I just think we need people who are smarter in possession at this point. We don't need to be as desperate. It's gonna be a hard watch if we don't get this second goal. But at this point, I don't have a lot of confidence in Spurs getting a second goal. We might have to see this game out at a certain stage. And just like I was saying, you see the game out by just being smarter in possession. Don't give it away as often. Don't give the ball right back to them every time. Especially the way we're giving the ball away, it's leading to transitions. We need to, if we are to give the ball away, it needs to be in better areas. Get there, Rich. Just less dangerous areas if we are going to lose the ball. How is that a foul? Come on, ref. Played a lot during the internet. Yeah, I think taking off Sar makes sense. Anthony temporarily looking tired. Yeah, Sar makes sense. He's played a lot of minutes. He's been probably I think he probably has some of the most minutes of anyone under Frank, especially in the midfield. He easily must have the most minutes. Great turn from Romero. Really good turn. Kudus coming into midfield. Bentancur, man on. Pedro, play it to Romero. Bentancur, man on. Udogi has come on for Jed Spence, by the way. Failed to mention that. Mickey Van de Ven back to the goalkeeper. Vicario, does he really need to clear that? He had an option. Well done, Simmons. Oh, beat Xavi and Richie off. They don't seem to realize they're on yellows or could be on reds. Richarlison, you worry about, silly challenge. And then Xavi, I mean, debatably could have had a second yellow there. Knowing this referee, too. Put Xavi in the middle, bring on Odegaard. I think you just take Xavi off at this point. He's played a fine game in possession, but at this point, you have to worry about putting ourselves under pressure with a second yellow. Good decision there from Udogi. Paulinho, switch a play to Poro. Into Bergval. He's got time here, Bergval. Can he find Richarlison? Good idea. That's fine. That's a good idea. Paulinho, what a win. What a win. Kudus. Can he find Paulinho? Paulinho wants to get into the box here. Kudus gets stuffed up. Paulinho wins it again. Kudus, so quality. Pedro. Great ball, Richie! Oh, that's a great chance. That's a great cross from Kudus. He's got to do better there, Rich. It's a great ball from Kudus. Oh, how does he not get his head onto that? Oh, he hit it. He's got to get his head onto that. He hit it with his hand. Richie flying into the challenge on Vega. We need to force the issue. I don't want Villarreal on and sit deeper and deeper for the second goal. It's fair. We don't seem good enough to score the second goal at the minute. Maybe it will come. Two players coming on for Villarreal. Long throw goes straight to the goalkeeper. Not good enough. Pedraza has been in that team forever. He's like Danny Parejo. Cole Moani warming up. Johnson warming up. Sorry if I'm eating, everybody. Starting to get a little bit peckish. Oh, that's just poor. That's just like two guys right next to each other for a header, and we somehow give it away. Somehow it gets down our left side. Xavi Simmons again there. Xavi Simmons again there. Xavi's very close to getting a second yellow. I'm just eating some cherry tomatoes tartan. Or medley tomatoes, petite medley, they're called. Had some Sour Patch Kids earlier, so I'm trying to balance out the unhealthy with the healthy. I want the second goal so I could have a beer. Fuck's sake. Want to be able to relax. With Xavi trying to get sent off feels that way. Colomwani taking off. Danny Parejo. How old is this guy? He's so old. He must be over 35. Thomas Partey coming on. Absolutely gross. Buchanan being taken off, not being taken off, hard to tell. Danny Parejo, 36. Crazy. I feel like he's been in La Liga forever. Who's at Valencia for a really long time. Quality player on his day. Really quality player. He's good from set pieces, Danny Parejo, so we have to look out for that. He's good in possession. He's been a quality midfielder. He's probably lost the legs at this point to play in the Champions League. Good hesitation there from Mickey. We know who we are, champions of Europe. We know who we are. Cole Milani first touches, brings it down. He's so much bigger than you think, too, Cole Milani. I remember when I saw that at Juventus, like, I remember him at PSG and at Frankfurt, but for some reason at Juventus, like, because he was playing up top for them, you kind of forget, like, he is a big guy. Yellow card for Milani, of course. Not been we've gotten lucky of the Xavi situation, so I shouldn't really complain too much. Referees helped us out there. Udogie, man! Vicario and Udogie, they speak the same language, but they struggling to communicate there. Good strength from Udogie. Good job by Poro. Yeah, just simple possession here, lads. Simple possession. Force them to come towards us. Gaps will appear. Poro going direct into Moani. Kudus, what a touch. Great composure again from Kudus. Simple possession here, lads. Simple possession. Don't hoof it long, please, Vic. Not in this situation. Just trying to get the ball, foot on the ball here. Cario went long to Johnson, out for throwing for Spurs. What a touch from Bergvall. What a pass by Vicario as well, to be fair. Out wide to Kudus. Please, Kudus. Find something. To the back post. Milani. Palinha. It's always asking a bit much there. Kudus driving at his man. Kind of whips in a little bit of a floating cross to Milani. Doesn't win it, and then it falls to Palinha at the top of the box. Hits it over the bar. It's asking a lot of him to be able to get that on target. It was a hell of a pass and a hell of a touch from Bergvall. I wish we did better with that situation. Udogi gets done. Wins it back, though, Udogi. Fair play. Palinha. Man on, Mickey. Good pass and a Destiny. Don't give it away here. Good ball from Johnson. It's a little heavy, though. Foyth, was that a foul or is just a corner? Should be one or the other. Is he giving that as a goal kick? How is that a goal kick? Yeah, it was a foul. It had to be one or the other. It had to be a corner or a foul. I guess this referee is Plonk. Johnson cuts inside, pokes it into Kolomoani. Can he hold it up? No strength there from Kolomoani. Dribbles it out of play. Just gets shoved over Colo. Oh, ball over the top. Mickey Van de Ven clears him out. Penalty. Or no, it's outside the box. Last man from Mickey. Is that outside or inside the penalty area? God, it's been dangerous this whole time. He's onside. Yeah, it's outside the box from Mickey. Outside the box there. Eesh, dangerous. He gave it as a yellow card. I mean, he could make the case that it's red. He could make the case that's a red. He took a poor touch there, Mikitadze, towards the end. He had a good touch initially and then took a poor touch later. Lucky we only had a yellow card for Mickey there. Just been a game of a lot of yellow cards. At this point, I just wondered, do you go to a back five? I know Villarreal would have more possession, but like, do you go to a back five? Defenders on the cover, Jack Yellow is right. Probably. I don't know. Just it's been nervy from us. Tartan been very nervy. Surprised Pareo isn't taking this. It's a dangerous free kick. Set up for it is set up for a left-footed player. Nicolas Pepe. He's had a good night tonight, Nicolas Pepe. He's missed some chances. Need him to miss again here. Need extra men in that wall there. Holy sh Woo! Woo! Yeah. Yeah, no bend or curl on the shot. Throw in for Spurs. Calm down. Take your time. Pretend you don't even know where the ball is. I don't know why I worry about free kicks this Jason. That's kind of true, actually. I was more worried if Danny Pareo takes it because I rate that guy. And then Pepe, he's had a few chances tonight. Good work rate from Kolomouani. Really good work rate. Ref! Come on, man. Kolomouani, though, has got to realize he's on a yellow unfairly, but he is on one. He took out the Villarreal player, almost sliding into the back of him. Just a few minutes here. We need to hold on. Good ball from Van de Ven. Referee must be auditioning for a Premier League job. That's hilarious, Brett. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Udogi almost getting skinned there. Well done by Johnson. Tracking back. Least you expect, but it's not always known for that. Yeah, we're struggling to hold on to the ball. It's been all Villarreal the last few minutes. Good job from Pedro Porro. Really good job from Pedro Porro. Kudus. Good play from Kudus. Kudus, make the run. Pedro, find him, lad. It's too late. Good job from Kudus. Great game management there. Great game management from Kudus taking the foul. Yep, bring on the Danzo. Colomwani's really struggled to hold anything up. Paulinha, good ball. Udogi, take your time, man. Take your time. Bentancur. Is that Johnson there? You absolute weakling. Johnson, bro. How can you not hold that up? Kudus has held up everything tonight with his back to his defender. You have one opportunity there just to hold up the fucking ball, man. Jesus Christ. What a wuss. Madraza, left back coming in. Pedro misses the challenge. Gives it as a advantage. I don't know why. The referee. Big switch of play. Johnson, man. Cleared away by Vicky Van Vance. Poor again from Johnson. Bentancur coming out to press. He's still got some legs in him. Bents. Very defensive end to this game. In behind Mickey Van de Ven. Palinha. Good. Oh, poor. Sir! Thank you. Well done from Bentancur. Well done for Bentancur. Kevin Danzo probably could have come on a bit sooner. Bergvall coming off. Probably moving to I'd imagine it'd be like a 5-2-3, 5-3-2, 3-4-3, however you want to look at it. Definitely going to be a back five. Well done, Udogi. Sir! 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 Getting some very good free kicks at the end of this game here. Hopefully helps us see it out. I did warn about us maybe having to see out this game. I think I said that around like the end of the first half. Yeah, not the best Champions League game to attend, that's for sure. All right, Colo, need you to hold this one up, man. What the fuck was that, Johnson? He's so shit. What was that? What was that from Johnson? What actually was that? Like again, why is he giving that why are we giving that away there? Like everyone's been guilty of it tonight, but how are we giving that away? Good clearance from Mickey. Get out there, Colo. Well done. Palinha, surge forward. Kudus, find Colo. Find Colo. We can't even get a simple through ball at the end of the game here. It's so poor. It's so poor. The simplest of balls at the end. We've had no quality tonight. Absolutely none. That was the nail on the head there. Just a 3-on-3. A 3-on-3 at the end, and we have showed no quality. Ref, it's the 4th minute. Jesus, ref. Vic, just hold on to it. What are you doing? There we go. First win of the Champions League. It's always going to be nervy. Not every game in the Champions League is going to be pretty. This one certainly wasn't. Really, not a whole lot to be. I mean, exciting that we got 3 points because the end of the day, it's just about getting around to the knockout rounds. That's all. That's all it is. Champions League, plenty of times, is not going to be pretty. It just isn't. But yeah, that was definitely not pretty at all. It just got worse, really. Like the first half, I wasn't as panicked because I felt like it was a bit more evenly matched. There were some good moments from Villarreal. There's some bad moments from Spurs, some bad moments for Villarreal, some good moments from Spurs in the first half. Second half was really all Villarreal, and it was just us holding on to it. Very fortunate to get that mistake from the goalkeeper because we just lacked any bit of devastating quality. We just had little breakaways. We had little moments where it just required a good cross or a good pass, good through ball, better shot, better decision, and we just every opportunity we just missed it. Just missed the ability to do it. It's really I don't know, not like especially concerning because we have scored goals so far this season, but it's just in open play. We were poor today, and poor from players that you don't even expect it from. Like Kudus, like his hold up play is unmatched. His hold up play is incredible, but there were times with Kudus, like even right there, like at the end, it's just like maybe holding on to it a bit too long, has an opportunity to play passing behind, does a bit of a Gio Lo Celso where he goes for like an unnecessary outside the boot pass. It goes behind Kolomoani. He also had the opportunity to play Johnson in too if he wanted an easier pass. Also, towards the end there, Johnson, like all we need to do is just hold up the ball. We're inside the opposition half. It's like a minute to go, and Johnson just balloons it out of play, like no reason at all. Like Ribs even said, I think the idea was bad. The execution was even worse. There's just so many moments tonight where just Spurs lacked any bit of quality in possession. It was just really frustrating to watch. That was the thing. I don't think defensively pretty strong. We probably have had better games defensively. There were some maybe moments here and there where Romero wasn't that great. I'd say Van de Ven actually had a hell of a day defensively. There were some good clearances from him and some good positioning at times. Nearly got away with somebody was saying, I think Tartan Spurs or someone was saying that wasn't a red card. Maybe it wasn't, but he had to recover. He had to take him out. It was a good decision to take him out because Mikitadze probably would have scored if he hadn't. Uh, but yeah, there was just some nervy moments where maybe better team, better players would take advantage of them, and we could have maybe lost this game, or it could have been a draw. You play what's in front of you. It's just, yeah, I'm more concerned. I mean, tonight wasn't our best defensive performance, but I'm more concerned with how we were going forward. I just think there was just no real quality at all at any point. That's the most frustrating bit for me. Too many yellows. Darkson G, if the ref called one or two of the pens, less nerve wracking. This ref was a joke. Referee was a joke. There was some sketch. I mean, ref could have easily given a second yellow though to like Xavi. I think we were very fortunate that he didn't. I think that could have easily been a second yellow. The game could have been really nervy at that point. Weirdly, I trust Thomas Frank and Spurs. If that did happen, if we did get a second yellow, I wouldn't have trusted us to be able to get a second goal or anything like that. But maybe that would have set the panic alarms to just see out this game, because that was maybe one of the things was we were not really that panicked for whatever reason about conceding, even though there were some sketchy moments. It's hard to say, but Xavi definitely got away with it. Xavi definitely got away with it. Um, another clean sheet. Another clean sheet. That's the thing. You know, we're about to get. I think in terms of the Premier League, I think we're on like we're on 3 clean sheets so far. I think the total of last season under Ange, we had 6. So that is the one thing that's nice about Thomas Frank, is that we are more likely to see out games. Whereas under Ange, we just didn't have any hope of seeing out a game. We had to score 2 or 3 goals to stand a chance of winning or holding on to something. And there was just always these chances, that these nervy moments were really taking risks. Whereas under Frank, it does feel a lot more secure, to be honest. It's just the big takeaway for me tonight was just really poor day at the office from some of the forward players. Like Richarlison couldn't hold up the ball at all. Also missed maybe a chance to grab a goal with that cross from Kudus. Kudus could hold up the ball, but lacked any sort of real quality in the final third to make a devastating chance or create something. Xavi Simons, I would argue, is actually the better of the 3 forward players. It's not saying much, but he was also being very silly about some of those challenges. Could have easily gotten a second yellow. Bergvall was probably maybe some of the better of the midfielders tonight. I think he tried. I wouldn't say he was as guilty of bad giveaways or anything like that. I think Bergvall was probably one of the better players. Sarr was kind of a bit of a meh performance. Not really too much to be critical of, not too much to rave about either. Bentancur was all right. I'm a big fan of Bentancur, but I thought he was only all right, really. Palhinha coming on, I think, proved to be a good decision, actually, as much as I didn't think it was necessary. Since we were so bad in possession, we probably did just need a destroyer in there just to like clean up some of the bad giveaways that were happening and some of the dangerous attacks that were coming from Villarreal. Maybe we just needed a guy to clean up for us. Romero, I thought, was probably the worst of the 2 defenders between him and Mickey Van de Ven. I think Romero just didn't have a great day. either passing out from the back. He wasn't as great as he was against West Ham. And then there were just some indecisive moments from him defensively by his own high standards, I will admit. I hold him to a very high standard. I thought he could have been a bit better. Pedro Porro was okay. And maybe at times, hoofed it long or kind of went for these big, long, direct passes unnecessarily when, again, we were just struggling to get our foot on the ball. And Jet Spence was probably, I'd say, actually, weirdly, one of the not my favorite of the back line tonight. Just thought he was poor in possession, wasn't amazing defensively either. Didn't really, we wouldn't say like this is one of those days where Jet Spence could say like, he locked up Nicolas Pepe, because Nicolas Pepe was, strangely enough, maybe one of Villarreal's best players, which is funny to say because he was just so poor for Arsenal. But I would probably make the case he was one of their best players. Not seeing patterns of play, hard to see them when you can't complete pass. That's what I would say. Like, there are games when you ask questions of the manager, like, what are we actually doing? What are we trying to pull off? There are moments like where Spurs either win the ball back or should have won the ball back in a good area. Then we're just giving it straight back to the opposition team, which is not on the manager. That's just poor from the players. If we actually executed some of these passes and some of these decisions a bit better, I think we would have seen more chances. So the creativity, I think, was down to our own just inability to hold on to possession and just make smart decisions and play the right passes and execute the right passes. Even towards the end there, like two fine examples would be Kudus has a breakaway, should be able to get a shot at least from that chance. Like it's a 3-on-3 or something like that. And Kudus has either Cole Mwani in behind, and he also has Brennan Johnson down the left, and he failed to find either. Like I said, it was a Gio Lo Celso moment where I remember that one game a long time ago where Gio had like a 3-on-2 or something. He plays a stupid outside the foot pass that gives it away when it should easily lead to a shot on goal. And then Johnson there towards the end, he has Kolo Muani for a pass and just balloons it out of play, but didn't even need to play that pass. All he needed to do was just hold on to it. It's just, again, it's either poor decision making or just, lack of execution. Take the 3 points though. And the other thing to mention is that I think it's style. I think it's preference. I think it's just what it is. But I am a person that just cares more about the results. Like, this is the immediate reactions. Like, it wasn't a great watch. It wasn't a pretty watch, but you just take results. It's more about winning than it is about playing the right way and playing beautiful football every time. Some people may feel differently. That's totally okay. I'm not telling you how to feel about these performances, but I care more about results than I really do about the quality performance. Of course, you want to see some quality performances littered in there, like we have. I think you could say we have seen some quality performances, aka West Ham, Man City, Burnley to an extent, and PSG, in the Super Cup final. This was one of the uglier ones, but it was nice to see us actually get over the line, because that was the thing we failed to do under Ange. Was during some of the uglier performances, we would get beat, and in some cases get beat badly. Whereas here, we were able to hold on for whatever reason. It probably just has to do with the defensive solidity for the most part. Jerome saying very bad performance, but a win is a win. Can't complain about it. Yeah, I should have gotten to that earlier, Jerome. That's exactly how I feel about it. It wasn't a great performance. It's not a performance I would really praise, but I'm happy that we are getting over the finish line and we're actually getting results, under Frank so far, right? Things could easily change, but you do have that feeling that he's a guy that can see out games a bit better than maybe the previous manager could. I don't know. Like, it's one of those where it's just Jerome for me. It really came down to a lack of quality. I think it was more on the players than it really was about Thomas Frank. Like, there were so many breakaways, so many moments where the ball was turned over in a good area for us, and we're just giving the ball straight back to the opposition. Just didn't make any sense to me. It's just such bad turnovers, such bad giveaways. And when there was maybe an opportunity to make something happen, there was an opportunity to create a good chance or, threaten the goal at least, that dodgy keeper, we just couldn't do it. We didn't have any of the ability to do it. Paulo saying, I disagree, Jack. Yes, the players made bad passes, but in times we have possession. You can tell we're not coached to retain the ball. I don't know. Like, I think under Frank, we want to play a bit more direct. We're not just holding on to the ball for holding on to its sake. like we were under Ange or maybe other managers where it's very possession heavy. You want to have the ball at all times. Like I do think there's more of an urgency under Thomas Frank. There is more of a willingness to be more direct, and when you are being more direct, you can give away the ball. It's not like all those direct passes are going to pay off, but there are times, Paolo, where we were working hard defensively. We were closing down the Villarreal team out of possession, and then we create a good turnover, and then we just immediately give the ball away again when it's a simple pass, a wide open pass. And I think if we did execute some of those moments, we would have seen good chances being created. Uh, Spurs DNA is to play attacking football. I get that, but people had attacking football before and they complained because we weren't getting results. I think everyone claims they want to see attacking football, but then when the results start dropping, we start to care. We start to realize it's more about results. I think Spurs are just a club at the end of the day, as much as attacking football is in our DNA. 100% understand that. We are a fan base that seemed to really just care about getting results, because when the results started slipping under Ange, it was less about the attacking football. So I think that's part of the reason too why Thomas Frank has been brought in. I think Thomas Frank has been brought in because he's a guy who has the knack to be able to change things, adapt, and be able to just get results and find a way to get over the line, whether it's pretty or not. Maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think that was part of the reason he was brought in here, so that Spurs can just at the end of the day win more games, whether it's pretty or not. And it's one of those days where we'll just quickly forget about it. I think, in the moment, we're a little bit frustrated by what we saw, but we started off the campaign with 3 points. That's what matters, and this Champions League run, it ain't going to be pretty every game. I can guarantee that. It's not going to be scintillating football every time, because the Champions League come up against teams that make life difficult for you. We were fortunate that Villarreal maybe weren't more clinical with some of their opportunities, but I could see a few of the games going this way. And if Spurs continue to pick up wins, continue to find a way to see out games, the players will grow in confidence, because results, you can be playing nice attacking football, nice DNA, nice, pretty, patterns of play, pretty stuff. But if you're losing games like we were last season, confidence just drops. You can't, it's hard to play that attacking brand of football if you're not winning game after game after game. Sometimes it's a bit better, I think, to just know that you're capable of seeing out results, even if it's not the most beautiful style of play, because then I think players get more confidence from just winning games and getting results personally. Really appreciate the support, by the way, Jerome. And Paolo, you're welcome to feel the way you feel. Thank you as well for being a member. And J Mac, I appreciate your support as well. Jason Bell saying, I think we should have switched over to the Juve Dortmund game. Looks like it was an entertaining finish there. Looking forward to seeing the Champions League highlights. I just care about getting results. I'm happy to watch a different game for the entertainment factor, the 4-3s and stuff. And again, this is how I feel. I'm not a guy who likes the 4-3 type of game for my own team. I hate conceding goals. I really do. I get more confidence from not conceding goals. I'm happy to score fewer goals as long as we're conceding fewer goals. That's just the way I look at it. Again, people are welcome to see the game differently, welcome to feel about the game differently. I'm not as attached to scoring a lot of goals. I think Dave is a bit more the latter. I think he likes to, or the opposite. I think he likes to score a lot of goals and play more attack football. But, we tried that and it just didn't work. And I care more about just seeing out results no matter what. There's so many successful managers, especially of a few years ago, that were not known for a scintillating style of play, but just found a way to get over the line, through various methods, and ended up being proven winners, and I think that's probably the route that Spurs are going to try to go under now with Thomas Frank. There will be some ugly games and some ugly performances, but as long as we're getting over the line, getting the job done, that's what people really care about, because the more you win, the more confidence goes into the team and the players, and just as well, the football club in general. Like, I think fans will just forget about this pretty quickly, especially if we get another result against, I believe it's Brighton after this. And then if we pick up a result against Bodo Glimt, even if these performances aren't pretty, I think, people will start to get behind it, as long as we're getting results. Shemi Tan saying we were bad with our build up again, and that's a worry, and very sloppy. Sean Brown, well done, Jack. Good work on the solo streams, and cheers, and catch you for the next one. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Sorry you guys had to be in prison with me for these 90 minutes, and you've had to hear my voice this entire time. I know it's sometimes nice to have Dave and his opinion on it. I think you would probably feel pretty similar with a lot of the things I've said tonight. I'm not sure if Dave would have felt like this was a Thomas Frank issue. I think he would have felt like this was more of a player issue with just not being sharp enough tonight. Unforced errors, like mentioned before by Skunkworks. I think that was absolutely spot on to call them unforced errors. No complaints, says Izzy Hassan. I'm a guy who just likes results at the end of the day. Izzy. Way shaky, but amen. I'm psyched about this result. That's just care about getting the points, really. No matter how we do it. AK Shags, we're forgetting how tricky these European nights can be. Thrilled with the 3 points despite not playing our best. I even went for a 2-0 prediction, so I wasn't really under any illusion that we were going to smack this Villarreal team up. I think we went into this game, we came out the gates pretty strong, pretty fast. We're able to luckily get a goal from a terrible mistake. And Spurs looked like they were capable of maybe pushing on for a second in that first half. And then in the second half, it just got away from us. We really were just the worst team in the second. Then the first half, you can make a case that we should have been able, with some moments here and there, to play a little bit better. And we could have fastened a chance or two. And then if we take them, it could have been 2-0 up, and then the game would be over. Because under Thomas Frank and under this new system, if we do go 2 goals up, I am confident that we see out the game. That's what I think we were just hoping for, is to nick that second goal, and then it just would have been game over. Whereas before last season, we could be 2 goals up, we could easily get rid of we could easily lose the lead. We want to see quality football. We will get there, but it won't happen overnight. I think we've had some quality performances, Jason. I do see what you're saying, but Man City, quality performance. PSG, an amazing performance. It was very direct. It was very Sean Dychian to an extent. We were just hoofing it long at times, just bypassing the midfield, but we won the ball back in so many dangerous areas, and we should have actually gotten more goals from that PSG game. Really, we should have been able to score more goals. But that was a great performance. So Man City, PSG against 2 high quality opponents. I thought we saw some great football in that. It's just different to maybe what we had before. And then, likes of West Ham, I think in the second half, it was really some lovely stuff at times. So I think we have gotten to some quality performances, but there might be games where we won't get as quality performances. Just trying to take some comments, but let me know if I'm missing anything. Of course, welcome to disagree. I am taking some of the comments that feel a bit differently. I know Paolo feels a little bit differently, which is fine. So let me know if I'm missing anything. Let me know if I'm getting anything wrong. Of course, welcome to tell me. Ian Ferguson saying, have to do better, but I'll take a clean sheet win. Jason Bell, yeah, we've had some quality performance. It will take time to do it consistently against the teams that play different ways. That's the other thing with the Champions League. I just feel like, you don't have much. We didn't have that much time to prepare for Villarreal. Like, we played a massive derby on Saturday. Then we had this game on Tuesday. This is the tricky thing, is that Thomas Frank is going to have to learn how to manage the fact that he can't, take a week to prepare between every game like he did at Brentford. He's going to start getting used to just sort of rolling over to the next game with not a lot of time to prepare, really, tactically or whatever it might be. And this will be an interesting thing to see him adapt to. My guess is that Dave would have been very frustrated with squandering possession, lack of attacking quality, but very relieved of 3 points. I think that's exactly how I feel as well. Ed Sweeting, very well put from yourself. Results speak for themselves. That's the way I feel about it, Banjo. It's not like every performance needs to be amazing. I think it's more just about getting results. And that's where you're judged by the end of the day. Not really judged by the amazing football you played. You're usually judged by, did you win a trophy? How far did you finish up in the league? That type of thing. Great stream. Give Dave our best, says AK Shags. I appreciate that, AK. Thank you, sir. So, Master, you did good solo tonight, Jack. Thank you for your time and for the show. Utah keeping us entertained, and you certainly know your football. I appreciate that, Swim Master. Very kind of it. Very kind of you, sir. A lot of similar comments. Appreciate you guys being here with me. If you can, smash the like button on your way out. Would appreciate it. Paolo Maratti, I fully agree, Jack. Frank has to learn to adapt between the short turn around time and the Prem, because it only get worse with the League Cup and the FA Cup. I agree. I think that's the big test for him. That was my only worry about Frank, coming in, is he has not had any experience he's a real tactico. He's a real tactician in that he likes to prepare and think about every little micro detail. He's not like what we had before, which is kind of rock up, play the same thing every time. He is going to look at each team he comes up against, pick apart their weaknesses, look to try to find things that you would do slightly differently, tweak things here and there for each opponent. But as the games start coming thick and fast, like you're not really able to do that as well. So I'm curious to see how he handles that. Only time will tell, because this is now the first, except for the PSG game. I think the PSG and Burnley was the other opportunity to see, because he played on Wednesday and then to play on a Saturday, which is a very short turnaround. We'll see how he handles it this time around in terms of making that just quick transition over to another game. And against, like you're saying, an opponent that plays an entirely different brand of football. And if you're one of those guys who likes to tweak things, adapt things, and you're not playing the same way every time, that can be tricky, because then the players might not be totally totally registered with what you're trying to do in that game. Whereas maybe the benefit sometimes of playing a similar style every game is the players don't have to think about as much what you're trying to do on the pitch. Important home win from Paul G. Next game, learn and move on. Fully agree. I'm not complaining, but we'll be better. I'm not even trying to complain. The only thing I'm complaining about is just, I thought it was just really poor quality from the players tonight. Like Ed Sweeting was saying, just squandering possession, unforced errors, really lacking that attacking quality. But I don't think that was down to the tactics. I think that was down to the players. Really conceded 1 goal in 5 games. Not bad from Hansi G. Exactly. And I lean more towards not conceding goals than scoring goals. Really, I'm happy with 2-0s and 1-0s. I really am. I just hate conceding. Stevie Frazier, big ups, Jack. Much appreciate your efforts. Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate you, my man. King Hoddle, I'm happy with the result. Really happy with the result. And I did not expect us to blow away this Villarreal team. I think in the Champions League, there are no mugs. Everyone's going to be pretty good. Like, you got there for a reason. You're not just going to be a complete blowover of a team. There will be teams I expect that will maybe have a great day, like it's the 3-0, something like that. I imagine that will happen once or twice. But it's hard to blow away teams in the Champions League. There's quality all around. Europa League, I think, you'll, in the initial group stages, you'll come up against some teams that maybe you can be able to push over pretty easily. But then once you get to the knockout rounds, like I mentioned in the pre-match buildup in the Europa League, you will in the knockout rounds, you will face some teams that are good enough quality, really, and Champions League, I think just from the get-go, you're going to be playing some quality teams. But yeah, get ready for the Premier League. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support. I'm curious what Twitter is going to have to say. I'll try to do a Twitter reacts if there's any good stuff out there. And I will see you for the next game this weekend. Appreciate your guys' support. Thanks for being here with me. Sorry Dave couldn't be here. And hopefully you guys didn't get too sick of me over this long period and this long night and this evening. And I will see you all next time. Have a good rest of your evenings. Tomorrow will be a fan show. And Thursday, there will be a panel show. And then we'll get ready for the games on the weekend. Thank you all. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for keeping me company. And I will see you all next time. Look out for post-match reaction. I feel like I've said a lot. I don't know how, maybe I might be just repeating myself too much. Maybe I'll look back on the highlights if the highlights come out quickly enough, and then I could come up with more of a cohesive, better worded post-match reaction. But I'll probably go for Twitter reacts if there's anything good out there from people. But yeah, appreciate you all. I'll see you next time. Come on, you Spurs. In the Thomas Frank we trust. I'm loving Slim Frank instead. I'm loving Skinny Frank instead. See you next time, everybody.